But it's not death of them, it's the death of their persona, the death of their identity, the death of their beliefs, their aspirations.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, is it so liberating when you can get over that crap.
Yeah. Unbelievably so.
Right? That is awakening. That is moksha. That is enlightenment, right? Is where, and that is my passion. If there's something that fires me up, it's like getting somebody on the other side of their constraints, getting somebody on the other side of their fears and limitations. That's really my whole work.
Yeah.
But most people are doing everything they can to hold on to them, like with this vice-like grip of like, no. I'm going to prove to you that I'm a not good enough human being. You know, it's like, wow, that's super inspiring. And you wonder why
tenacious.
You wonder why your relationships aren't awesome and you're not making the money that you'd like to make, right? Because you're not wanting to die to the illusion of inadequacy, for which you've got all the evidence from your history because of the way that your parents spoke to you, or because you were picked last in a particular sports team, or because your high school coach spoke to you in a certain tone and you felt that you were a failure. You know, some of the things actually that we talked about with you, and then when you were 17 in that game, right? And you pulled out of the game last minute and you made that mean something about you as you'd let people down, you know, and then you carry that as this sort of emotional burden, which then dictates your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, and consequently your results. It's a natural cascade. So what is the real excitement for me about death? It is the death of the idea of yourself, not the death of who you are. It's quite the antithesis, because the death of the idea of yourself is actually the precursor to the life of your true self. I mean, when you really get that, it's like, holy shit, like, why wouldn't I want to continually die to the illusion of who I am that is really just an inherited narrative? Primal for some of us, like, you know, humans have these primal survival mechanisms, and then we've got all of our anecdotal sort of personified versions of that, because our uncle said this and my mum said that, or my parents divorced here, and you've got the evidence as to why you don't feel like you're enough, or you're not wanted, or you're not going to be okay. But it's really the life you're looking to access is on the other side of these deep-seated subconscious patterns of inadequacy and insecurity that you ironically don't, you know, through no fault of your own, are trying to defend or disprove or hide,
right?
Which is all the while just reinforcing.
Yeah.
So that to me is what, to come back to your original question, what's coming to the surface with all of my clients and friends and people I'm supporting is these deep-seated fears that are all self-projections, the inner fight, the inner battle, the inner virus, the inner cancer. That is where I'm not trusting. I'm not in a position of surrender like you after you've slipped down your, you know, prickly vines. An image that I'm going to have to work on, get out of my head. But anyway, to find that sense of true liberation on the other side of any concerns that really are very deep-seated and part of like the human tapestry, which for reason there's just compassion and kindness to one another, that we're all doing the best we can within the limits of our own awareness. And now we've got a lot more awareness. And so we can expand, we can up-level our own technology and our own narratives, our own programming. It's literally having a greater operating system that is not vulnerable to some exogenous source, whether it's, you know, a virus or the bankruptcy of something or the loss of something. It's like, no, it's okay. I'm going to be fine. This is actually something that is a catalyst for my own growth, for which I'm grateful.
Yeah.